evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is. This is That's Your Opinion podcast with Tez and Chris. Please do subscribe and like this video. It really helps us to help you. So
Exactly. And you can check us out on YouTube, and we've got a podcast that is on. I'll have to get back to you on what platforms actually is. Yeah, Spotify and
Anchor, something else.
Yeah, I can't remember now. But
Okay.
yeah, check us out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube. You'll find us there.
Yeah, That's Your Opinion podcast with Tez and Chris YouTube. And that's that. I'm just going to have a look here, Tez. It's Anchor podcast. It is Anchor.
Excellent. Yeah. So check us out on there. But
okay.
Cool. Right. So what is our top? Well, what we're going to be discussing for today? I suppose I'll start us off because this video, when it came out about 10 minutes ago, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I don't know if you've got access to YouTube whilst we're watching this. The coronavirus fear grips workers in India. It's it's basically a crowd of people. And when I say a crowd of people, it looks like a riot going on of just ram-packed full to the brim of people in India.
Probably after hand sanitizer. Sorry, I'm not being insensitive. This is the hand sanitizer from India. And it came. I sanitised the sanitizer before it came. But don't come around my house and burgle me, please, because I ain't got.
That's like your only. Yeah, that's the only sanitizer you have.
From India. How much slave labour has been put up into this sanitizer? I thought, I hope if I don't put this on my skin, it don't burn it off. But no, it's all right. Anyway, sorry, Tess, you were saying.
That's right. Yeah, I think no, because China have basically announced that they're going on lockdown, so now everybody's panicking and they're trying to get to, I don't know, they're trying to travel to wherever they've got to travel to. But yeah, if you YouTube it, it's mental. There's no social distancing at all.
But India is a vast place with loads of people. You know, is it? You know, but in China, what they did in the beginning initially, they like dragged people off the street and stuff, if that can be believed.
Yeah, this ain't going to happen in India. There's too many people, way too many people. It looks like there's a concert going on.
God, it's a nightmare. But why did they wait to the last minute? Why the pandemonium now?
The same reason why our government waited till the last minute. The same reason why America waited until the last minute.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, so you check that out. I'm going to check it out myself afterwards, actually.
Yeah, do check it out. It's mental. My jaw just dropped to the floor when I saw that.
Wow, it's crazy times. It's crazy times, but we're not going to be obviously saturating everyone with the coronavirus. No. You know, we're going to try and get away from that a little bit, aren't we, Tez?
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it. It's only when I was flicking through YouTube I thought I've got to mention it because it's just been reported.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what we got on the agenda today, you came up with some genius strokes.
Yes. I thought, well, we could discuss what things to do when you're whilst you're at home. So I've suggested taking up a new hobby. So this would be the perfect time to maybe learn an instrument and annoy your parents or your partner or your kids. You could also be creative and maybe write a story, excuse me, or maybe learn how to draw or paint or play cards with the family or get out the board games. Let's get back to actually being more social with our family, but still keeping the distance, but socialising with our family the old-fashioned way.
Definitely. I was playing Monopoly yesterday. And it was great. It was great. Well, for a while, and then the kids lost interest, and then, you know, it is what it is. But it's great. It's really good, you know, with the family and that. And yeah, you know, things to do indoors. There's only so many things you can do. But, you know, what you're saying is correct. You know, you can learn an instrument if you've got one handy. Don't start, you know, ordering off Amazon and eBay because you ain't going to get your stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, being creative, going back to the old school, that's good. You know, that's good. And we can always find things to do. There's always something indoors that needs to be done, even if you just tidy up like a speed freak.
Especially when the soaps are going to be dying out in the next couple of months. There's going to be no soaps on the telly.
That's a good thing.
For me, well, I couldn't care less. But for my mum, yeah, the whole world literally is about to end now because she's got nothing to watch on the telly.
Wow. Emmerdale, Coronado, Constipation Street, all gone.
Yeah. Can't say I'm kind of heartbroken, you know.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts like a hole in the head. But Yeah, but and it's good. It's good. I think we said it last week about the distractions, what go on, and we're always busy doing something, but this is we can utilize this time for good. I always say it. I do my 2-minute daily isolation videos on YouTube and on the YouTube channel, and I just make it up as I go along. And we have to utilize this time, and we have to keep safe as well. We have to keep ourselves safe and others safe. You know, I'm especially mindful with my health condition. I got up this morning, I was well paranoid, says man. I had a bit of a sore throat, a bit of a headache. And I come to the conclusion, because I've been getting up at 6 o'clock every day for the last God knows how long, I got up late today, 9 o'clock. So that's the first time I had a lay in about, I don't know, God knows how long, 6 months, 7 months. And I think my brain wasn't used to sleep, because where I got up at 9 o'clock, my head was like, oh, I got a terrible headache. Oversleep is not good when your brain is used to not oversleeping. But anyway, yeah, I have to be extra vigilant and cautious.
Oh no, I know the feeling. I mean, I was kind of panicking. What was it on Friday? My mum was like to check my temperature. Her temperature was like 39.2 or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. My heart was like, oh no, oh no. But because obviously, as we've mentioned, she's got problems with her legs. So we came to the conclusion, leg infection, because they're wrapped. I could feel the heat coming through. It's like, okay, okay, okay. And obviously spoke to the doctor, and yeah, they weren't concerned that it was. Well, obviously they were concerned, but not concerned that it was the coronavirus. But she's had this before, so we know the symptoms. But yeah, the initial first 5-10 minutes was shit. But now that she's got that, so I'm taking extra precautions to make sure she's wrapped in cotton, literally. So, because obviously she's extremely vulnerable at this precise moment.
oh, well, my thoughts go out to your mum and that, and everybody, who's suffering. Like my mother-in-law's got the coronavirus. She's in Romford. Um, she works in a hospital for the NHS, and I can't say too much because obviously, but yeah, she's been, she started off a headache and then her throat, and then she had a temperature. She's been in bed for 2 days. Then she went in, I don't think, and I texted her to make sure she was okay now, but she's definitely got it. And, she's gone through, some medical stuff. I can't really go into details, but, it's until it's someone who actually contracts it. And a couple of people I know, their parents have died from this. A friend of mine, who I've known for a little while. I don't know that well, but I know of her. And God bless her dad. Her dad passed away, and it was so sad. Like until the reality hits, you be, oh, hold on a minute. This is not a joke. And I just wish everyone well and just keep safe, really, and keep to government guidelines, and that's essential, really.
Yeah, hopefully, and like I say, hopefully mother-in-law's okay, and hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, the symptoms aren't too severe.
Yeah. But anyway, we said we was going to talk about it, but we don't we go with the flow, and we don't want to be too matter of fact about this podcast. We just want to keep it loosely guided through. So let's move forward and get out of this sort of corona trap that we're putting ourselves into.
We'll slowly come out of this trap. My next question would be, what would you do if there was a zombie apocalypse, which it might kind of feel like it is at this precise moment?
Wow, I don't know, just invest in lots of guns. I've got a few guns, but not firearms, just BB guns, so that's not going to do much. So yeah, just invest in some guns. I don't know, what would you do, Tez?
See, well, me and my mate had this whole plan set out because we had this conversation on various occasions. Now, my plan has slightly changed now because I don't live in Hertfordshire anymore. But our plan was to go to the Lee Valley and basically get us high up and near the water and camp out there. But obviously on the way, get weapons, get swords, get guns, get whatever we can, and get a shitload of supplies. I was also suggesting maybe find a store like B&Q or Tesco's and barricade yourself in there. But my mate reckons Lee Valley, up high, near the water, was far more beneficial.
Definitely. Jack someone's home boat, barge. No, I I'll take that back. I don't condone theft or jacking.
No.
This is hypothetical, so don't lose your shit over what I'm saying.
Hypothetical if there was nobody
Yes.
on that boat.
Yes, I would take it. Simple. And then I would load up with a load of essential goods and guns and just go down the River Lee, and try and get out to the sea. Obviously not on the barge. I'd have to upgrade. It would turn into Grand Theft Auto, wouldn't it, Tez? Yes. But yeah, what would you do? But this is a sort of apocalyptic scenario, really, in a way, isn't it? But yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What would you do? It depends. It depends what would happen, because would it be a conventional zombie that if you get bit, you turn into one? We would have to figure out what sort of how it works, how we contract it. Do we turn into zombies? So I don't know how that would. We'd have to figure out.
Well, if it was the standard, you get bit, you turn into a zombie, and it was your standard zombie. Plus, I think getting not necessarily more swords would probably be more beneficial than guns, because swords aren't going to run out. You just have to make sure they're sharp, and everybody's got katanas nowadays. Okay, granted they're not sharp, but it ain't that difficult to sharpen them. And that's my recommendation. Just get loads of swords. That's all you need.
Yeah. Tip of the day: get loads of swords. Cut zombies' head off.
Get some body armor as well. So motorcycle armor, like oh my god, I can't even think what it's called. Oh my god, I've even got.
You're letting the side down, says you're an avid motorcyclist.
I know. Well, it's my summer gear, so like the kind of motorbike gear that the motorbike trick people wear. I can't think what it's bloody called. It's completely gone out of my head. Anyway, the slimline body armor that motorcyclists wear when they're doing tricks, get that, because that's obviously padded. It'll protect you if you get bitten as well.
That's good.
And it's got a slimline, sticks to you, so it's not going to be too heavy. It's not going to be too bulky. See, got all this planned out.
Wow, you're not messing about, are you, Tez?
No.
Crikey. Wow, well, there you go. What would you do if there was a zombie apocalypse? Wow. Scary, just the thought of it, really. But yeah, that's good stuff. That's a good subject to mull over and think about in this precious time we've got.
Yeah, it's one of them that you definitely sit down with your mates and have one of them really deep, long conversations about, which I've had several occasions.
Yes, tell me about it. I was talking about conspiracies and all of that in 1996, man. And people were saying I was mad, but anyway, we might get on to a bit of that later on.
Yeah, because everybody loves a good conspiracy theory.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, moving on from that. Do you remember the good old-fashioned yo-yos way back in the 90s? Now, some of the viewers, if they're a bit younger than us, probably won't even know what a yo-yo is. Mm-hmm. But the yo-yo craze back in the 90s, it was the 80s and the 90s. But do you remember Coca-Cola had them, Sprite, Fanta, all of them got really into it. You couldn't go anywhere without everybody having a yo-yo. The playground was just full of people doing tricks with yo-yos. Yeah. They'd light up yo-yos, ones that kind of came back at you yo-yos. I had a Ninja Turtle one that I was obsessed with.
Yeah, I love the yo-yos, lollipops and bubble gum.
Oh yeah, Hubba Bubba.
Yes, man. Cola flavour. It's good.
I had the traditional strawberry one.
The strawberry's good. For the first 2 seconds, fantastic. But yo-yos, yeah, man. Doing all the tricks and, double yo-yos and double strings and doing tricks with 2 yo-yos and all that palaver. Yeah, it was a craze. Better than fidget spinner.
Yeah. And that was back in the day when penny sweets actually did cost a penny.
Yes.
Oh, I miss them days when you could actually get penny sweets for fucking penny.
Or you can go into the shop and have a 5-finger discount and get away with it because there's really no CCTV. I do not condone stealing.
So we don't recommend.
I was only joking.
And this is back in the day when CCTV wasn't really the in thing back then.
No.
But a can of Coke was like, what, 25p? It was probably a bit cheaper when you were a bit younger.
I think, yeah, it was. It was a little bit cheaper. Just a little bit. I remember, cans of Cokes, I think might have been about 10p, I think. I remember that.
I think I might remember them when they were a bit 15, 20p, but I definitely remember them being about 25, and then they just went to 50p.
Now they're about £5.50 for a can of Coke. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Stupid. And it ain't even got proper sugar in it anymore.
No.
annoying.
No, and it's annoying that you can't get 2 litre bottles of Coke.
Yeah. There are other drinks available, by the way.
There are, but that's why that's what I'm obsessed with. And actually, I know we're not going to talk about the coronavirus, but I have to say this. This is really pissing me off that you can only buy 3 fucking bottles. Do you know how much of a nightmare this is for me, that I can only buy 3 bottles at a time? I'm one of these people that has like a huge supply of Coke all year round. And yeah.
Why don't you do what I do? Why don't you buy the 24 cans in a big box? That's what I do. I'll buy a couple of them.
That's what I am now doing. Before I was buying bottles, but now, yeah, you don't want to know what I brought. I've been buying as many cans and bottles and trying to build up my supply.
Shop hopping, yeah?
Yeah, which we don't really recommend, but unless it's for items that you really need, like Coke.
I used to do that years ago when I was an active alcoholic. I used to go to loads of different off licenses, but in the end, I didn't really give a toss. Yeah. So, yeah, going around for drugs like codeine tablets to different chemists and all that. Anyway, yeah, crazy. Now we're doing that over toilet roll. I was doing that back in the day, mate. I was doing that back in the day when it was essential, not for toilet roll.
Yeah.
Twats.
Toilet roll is just... I was in a supermarket last week, and there was one multi-pack of 20, I think it was 24 rolls left on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, and it's the brand that I normally buy, and I was about to buy it, but it was open, and I just thought maybe I'm being really paranoid, but I'm not buying that toilet roll because it's open.
Wow, I would have bought it.
It's because I have anxiety, as you know. This is like my anxiety is 4 million times worse. So
yeah, I'll make you right there, Ted. You can't even spray it either, can you? Really?
No.
Well, you can't.
No.
Unless you want a soggy bottom. Sorry, I had to say.
No, not really. But that has reminded me that at some point during the week, I'm going to do a video of the I'm going to call it the rule book. No, the anxiety rule book of what to do out when you're out. So basically, everything that I do when I normally go out, I'm going to tell people that's what they should do during this pandemic.
Interesting. That'd be good. I'll be looking forward to listening.
Yeah, the anxieties rule book and how to survive a pandemic.
Is it going to be up on the YouTube channel, Tez?
Yes. At some point during the week, when I get a spare few minutes to list this.
I'll be looking forward to that. That's great stuff. So we're going to have more content as well, aren't we, Tez, on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's going to be a mixture of it's mostly going to be light-hearted, taking the piss stuff, but might be a few serious bits here and there. But we're trying to keep it light-hearted and fun for everyone.
Of course, too much doom and gloom now, especially these days. We have to lighten the mood, hopefully. Yeah, we're going on that. Do you remember? Actually, no. That covers on. Okay, no. What we got next, Tez?
Well, next on my list is top favourite films. I mean, I've got loads, but I've only listed a few. Slightly different genres as well. So for horror, it's got to be Nightmares on Elm Street.
Yes, absolutely.
I remember the first time I saw that was at my nan's house. My brothers were watching it, and I was about 6 or 7 at the time. So, I was next door to their TV, and I was playing Nintendo, and they had it running. So there I am, like. So yeah, that's how I ended up watching it at such a young age, and love it ever since. Gave me fucking nightmares, but loved it ever since.
Scary.
Another genre, the Mighty Ducks. You've got to love the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
I don't care that it's a kids' film. It's a classic kids' film. They don't make them like they used to, and it's just a classic. That and Back to the Future.
Yes, all of them. All of the Back to the Futures.
Yes, I mean obviously you can't beat the first one. The third one it's good, but it's not one that I would purposely put on. So for me, probably it's out of the first and the second one, but the first one is definitely the best.
Iconic, fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that and I think a lot of people will be happy to know that they shouldn't be remaking Back to the Future ever.
No way.
Because the guy that owns the rights to it has refused any remakes, any prequels, nothing. There is no way, unless he dies and somehow somebody else gets the rights, there is no way Back to the Future is getting remade. Thank God.
Good. They shouldn't anyway.
No. You can't remake a film like that. It's impossible.
No.
But then again, there's a lot of films that they keep remaking that they just really shouldn't do.
But how they get around it as well is like they make musicals instead of remaking the films, which is a bit of a loophole, which I can understand why. You know, I used to work for a theatre company a long time ago, was involved with a theatre company. So um, I think I know what I'm talking about, you know, and I love theatre. It's fantastic, depending on what theatre it is and shows. But yeah, they get around it by making it like I think it was the other day when Mrs. Doubtfire, when it said, oh, this, you know, remake of Mrs. Doubtfire was like, nah, mate. And I looked, so it's like, it better not be. And then it was a musical. They can't remake Mrs. Doubtfire. No way. I love that film. It's fantastic, man.
And it's Robin Williams. That's why
Absolutely.
That's why I refuse to watch Aladdin.
Mm.
I refuse to watch it because I'm sorry, Will Smith was the worst choice to begin with anyway. But yes. you can't replace Robin Williams. Impossible.
No, he was an absolute legendary genius. Absolutely loved him. Great. What other films you got, Tez?
Film-wise, those were like my top 3 kind of different genre films. What about yours?
Well, I've got a few. I love my gangster films, obviously. I'm always typecast to that sort of thing anyway, for some strange reason. I don't know why. Anyway, I've got Scarface, Goodfellas, Casino, all the Martin Scorsese films. I love. He's a great director. Don't care what anyone says. Shawshank Redemption, best film in the world. Don't care what anyone says about that. And I've got a few obscure ones where some people might not know. The Coloured Purple is a powerful film.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It's really powerful. It's set in Mississippi years ago with all of the KKK and all that. Coloured Purple, really, really powerful film. Also, I've got a couple more here, which is very obscure. If you get a chance to watch them, Who Will Love My Children? I tell you, that film, if you watch it, it's heartbreaking. Who Will Love My Children? It's an old film, but I'm telling you.
It rings a bell.
It's really powerful, man. Proper film, not like one of these Mickey Mouse. Trust me.
I think I might have seen it because the name is...
It's about family and kids, and I don't want to give it... Please, just
if I have seen it, the reason why I can't remember is because I was so young, like toddler age kind of.
Yeah, it is an old film.
A bit older than toddler, but
it's really sad, but it's a true story. It's a killer. Listen, you watch that, you won't see another film like that again.
Yeah, I think I have seen it, but I can't place it. I'm sure I have.
And another one run alongside of this is the Karen Carpenter story. Wow.
Yeah.
That is, it's a powerful film, man. It's a great film. It's the life of Karen Carpenter, obviously, and she died, I think, when she was 33, and she had just, and it's an old school. I think it was in the 80s, early 80s it come out. It was made, or even before that, but yeah, the Karen Carpenter story film. Them two, powerful, man. So yeah, they're my top picks there that I can think of.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. And Martin Scorsese, one of my top directors, and David Lynch. That actually reminded me, if people haven't seen Twin Peaks, there's series 1, 2, and 3. Series 1 and 2 was way back in the early 90s. You got to check it out. If you're looking for something to watch during this period, check out Twin Peaks. You will not be disappointed. Have you not seen it?
No. Is it English based or American?
No, it's American. It's directed by obviously David Lynch and David Frost. Anyway, there's 2 of them. By season 2, mid to the end, it gets season 2 is a bit iffy because David Lynch wasn't quite involved in it, so it gets a bit But no, check it out. It's a bit of a slow. It's one of them series where it's not fast paced. It's quite slow. And obviously it's David Lynch, so it's got that kind of weirdness to it. But if you can get past the initial slowness, trust me, it's worth watching. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I've got the entire box set, and it's definitely worth watching. I mean, it's weird. It's slow, but very weird. If you like the kind of good old-fashioned cop kind of noir kind of dramas, then this is definitely your cup of tea. It deals a lot with the subconscious and different planes of... It's really weird and it's really difficult to explain.
Twin Peaks, yeah? Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Just excuse me, I'm just Googling it because... let's have a look quickly. Excuse the noise in the background as the kids go up and down. So just excuse me if you hear noise.
It's all part of the.
It's because they're like a herd of elephants. They are.
It's funny. That's what my mum used to say about me and my brother when we used to come down the stairs.
Killers. Yeah. So I'll check that out. That's good. That's fantastic. And what you've got here, things you miss. Things you miss.
Yeah. Oh well.
Mm.
Definitely my nan's cooking. That's top of my list. I would give all my limbs to have my nan's meatballs or a pasta, or I would give anything to have that right now, and just for my nan to be here as well. That would be the other thing.
Absolutely. That's if you can get the pasta, that is.
Yeah, can't get pasta. I mean, I shouldn't be advertising this. I'm lucky, but obviously because it's now closed, the Italian shop back in Hertfordshire, which when my mum told me this, I only found this out last week. The shop's now closed, and I'm like, but where are we going to get all our supplies from every year? Because we normally bulk buy when we go to Hertfordshire. Anyway, the shop's closed, but we last time we went, we brought loads of baby pasta, because my nan used to cook baby pasta with chicken broth. So she cooked it with chicken, chicken cubes, celery, just the leaves, and a splash of tomato sauce. Oh, I'm telling you, it's the best thing since fucking sliced bread. You can't go wrong. So we've got a few packets of that left, and a couple of bottles of sauce. That's it. So yeah.
Wow.
I can understand why my nan used to buy us, because my nan used to all year round, she always used to be fully stocked on cleaning supplies, pasta. She used to make her own sauce. Now I know why. My granddad used to make his own wine. Now I know why they were fully stocked with everything.
See, hoarder's got a bad name. Now who's a hoarder now? Huh? Yeah. I used to think, why? It's like nans and mums. Why have you got all these tinned, all these... What's going on? Yeah, clever.
Yep. I can hear my nan now going, see, told you.
Yeah, absolutely. Things I miss. You know what I miss? And it might seem trivial compared to what you've just said, but I miss crisps when there were bags of crisps rather than like a quarter of a full bag.
Oh, yeah.
And I miss chocolate bars when they used to be like normal size instead of that size. Marathons instead of Snickers, when they were marathons, they were about that big. When chocolates were that big.
I don't remember that.
Big. Now they're about this big.
If you're lucky.
You know? Yeah, if you're lucky.
So, do you remember? I don't think they were made by Cornetto, but they were like a Cornetto that were like 4 times the size of a normal Cornetto. You used to be able to get them in 7-Eleven.
Yeah, just bear with me. Sorry, the kids are crying. Just bear with me a minute. Oh, yeah, they're right. Yeah, she's going downstairs. I don't know. She'll be all right. Look after herself. It's survival of the fittest in this house. All they have to do is be quiet for an hour. It's a nightmare. But anyway, we were saying.
Yeah, so I can't remember if they were actually made by Cornetto. I don't think they were, but back in the day when it was 7-Eleven, they looked like Cornettos, and they were literally, I kid you not, like, they must, I swear to God, they were this size. And I'm not just saying it because I was a kid. They were that size. Can't get them anymore.
No, of course not. Of course not. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Yeah, so I do. I do miss that. I do miss the old school things and the old school even just the basics. Like, it goes back from the original, the beginning of the podcast when we're saying, like, why can't we just like keep it old school really at the end of the day, and just keep it simple and take it easy. It made me laugh. I'll see a thing on social media saying about, divorce lawyers are going to be like in their element now in this quarantine time, with the meme with the black geezers going behind the fence, yeah. So that'd be good. What have you got stashed down there, Tez? You got stashed a load of chocolate and munchies, yeah?
Well, just my bottle that I thought I'd better take the label off, just, even though everybody knows what it is after we just had a 10-minute conversation about it. But
yeah. Oh no, it's that cola roller. Anyway.
But yeah, I don't want to advertise. So
no, we've done enough of that.
Exactly.
So, and we've got what else you got on the list, Tez? You've got a couple of more bits and bobs, no doubt.
Yeah, I have. What else? You have to bear with us. We're still new to this whole podcasting malarkey, so we're still getting to grips with our format and what we're actually doing.
That's all right. I think this is a good way.
If you could change something, what would you change? Something particular.
Stupid people. sorry. When I say that, you know what? No, I'm only joking, by the way, because you know, I would change. I don't know. What would I change? You know, if people was less ignorant and being a bit more considerate of others, you know, especially now at times, I would change that really in a way. Like just, you know, I remember growing up in East London in Hackney actually, and we lived on a notorious estate then. I grew up on Nightingale Estate in Hackney, and it was lovely. You know, everyone had a sense of community. Everyone looked after each other. You know, it had a bit of a bad reputation. It's only the people who didn't live on the estate called it a bad reputation because they couldn't walk through there and act up because you wouldn't be able to walk through one side of the estate to the other if you thought you was a bad man. Yeah, because you'd get ripped to shreds. That's why it had a notorious reputation because everyone looked after each other. I wish it was like that now. My neighbours, I don't even know who my neighbours are, to be honest with you. I do know who they are because I've seen them, obviously. But, you know, it's like back in the day, you know, we had the doors open and we used to go into neighbours' house. We used to play, run outs, you know, knock down ginger. Can you say that anymore? Anyway, whatever, you know, and all that, you know. That's what I miss. You know, if we could change, I'd like to go back to the old school, so where everyone was, you know, looking out for each other rather than being self-centered to the core and just thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could change some things like that. It really, really would. But in saying that, obviously slightly changing it a little bit. Well, your area was clearly different to where I grew up in Hertfordshire. I mean, obviously, yeah, we could, you know, and during those times we could go out and didn't have to worry about anything. But up until we left, I couldn't actually tell you the names of my next door neighbours. Didn't have a clue. Knew who they were. We had an Italian people on one side and English on the other side. Couldn't tell you what the names were. They were quite rude either side, actually. But moving here, I know that neighbour, I know this neighbour, we know people across the street. It's just like people say, "You're right," and I'm like, "What? You're talking to me?" Oh, hi.
You're talking to me?
Yeah, people are so polite in this area. I can't actually get over how polite they are. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, moving to Kent, it's driving. Now, let me just say one thing, yeah, please. Driving. Now, I've gone from one extreme to another.
Yep.
Where I live in London, when I used to live in London, people are 100 miles per hour. People want to cut you. They want to throw acid in your face if you're going 30 in a 30 miles per hour zone.
Yep, same where I've been in Hertfordshire. Yep.
You know, and then I've moved to Canterbury in Kent, and wow, it's like steptoe and some theme tune. That's all I can think of while driving. Okay.
I think it's like, Sunday drivers that have never gone home.
Oh my God. It's like shit. You know, and then when you drive a bit faster, they start putting their brakes on, like you're gonna run them off the road. They drive very slow, don't they? Yeah.
It's shocking how slow they actually are, and it's all of them everywhere in Kent. I haven't come across anywhere in Kent where they actually drive normally.
I know. When I'm behind a driver who drives rather spiritedly, sorry, I love it. I'm thinking this person's a gangster. They're not. They're just driving normally. You know what I mean? I think yes. You know, and then you know when you turn, you're driving, you're in your flow, you do a left, and then boom. Oh, here we go. There's not even a tractor in front of the car, right? And it's like, why? You know, it's 40 miles per hour. They're doing 25.
Yeah,
why?
I can't work that out.
If you're one of them drivers, yeah, I'm talking to you. If you're one of them drivers, 25, yeah, you deserve to have your license taken away from you. Stay indoors, self-isolate for more than 3 months, please.
Forever, permanently. Just give up your license. There's no point. It's like even for me on my motorbike, because the roads around here are so small and narrow, I can't overtake. So I'm stuck on my bike, and I'm just like, yeah, it's frustrating.
Oh, you wanted the motorcycle are reversing rigorously behind.
No, actually, I'm more sensible on the bike than I am in the car, and I'm actually the complete opposite to what you think of a motorcyclist. I don't filter very often. Matter of fact, I hardly ever filter. I'm that sensible. But if it's a clear road, yeah, of course, I'm gonna, well, not literally put my foot down, but I'm at least gonna go the bloody speed limit. But it's a clear road. There's a time and place for everything. So if it's clear, yeah, I'll give it some. But I wouldn't do it in an area where I could potentially put somebody's life at risk. And I don't drive like an idiot and filter through cars.
So we're not saying break the speed limit. That's what
And I'm not.
But keep up with traffic.
And I'm not doing any of that crap. No. I don't like it, and I don't do that. I'm very, very sensible on the bike. Not all bikers are twats. Some of us are actually
just
sensible.
The ones who drive mopeds, the hair dryers.
Them on steroids.
Yes. The hair dryers on Galeras. In it, fam. You get me, blood. Yeah.
I don't miss that. I do not miss that.
Nor do I. Balaclavas. Why would you wear a balaclava and a helmet when it's July with your pants halfway down your knees? Sort your life out. Anyway, that's my rant over.
I could really go on so much more, but I won't. I'm going to keep that comments to myself and just say not all bikers are the same. We are fairly sensible, the good ones.
Yes. Yeah. Pull your pants up. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and even in the summer, you should wear protective gear. I'm not saying wear the big hefty jackets, but wear summer gear. I do it. I suffer, but I rather keep my skin.
Wear t-shirts, they do. Running around with t-shirts on
yeah, t-shirts, shorts, trainers, and I'm just like, are you fucking serious? Like, do you not know what will happen to you if you come off even at 30, even at 20? You're going to do some serious damage.
I don't care, fam. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah,
it, fam.
Yeah.
It. Anyway, moving on, because we can really, really go in and let's get established a little bit more before we go in. Then we can. No, I'm joking. But I can say anything because I don't care.
I'll let you. It's like
Wastemen. Yeah, wastemen. A lot of them. Anyway, no, but be cautious on the road, and you 25 mile per hour crew, sort your lives out. So what we've got some conspiracy. We spoke about it. We touched on it earlier on. Says about conspiracy theories.
Yes, yeah, definitely need to do a bit more research into it. But I've been watching. See, they've got nothing else to do on good old YouTube. About how 5G is linked to the coronavirus, how it's amplifying the coronavirus, which I know it does sound really out there, but if you actually look where all the 5G is actually rolling out, and then look at all the areas where the virus is at its peak, you kind of think, maybe it is. So there's that theory going around. There's also the theory that the government is making all this panic because they want to control, so not just in this country, but the whole world. They want to be able to control all of us and make us all live in a police state, which I can strongly see and believe that one for definite, because there's so many signs that are there. And there's also the other theory that's going around about the virus, that it was engineered in a lab back in 2014, and they're now taking down sites about it. And even though it's in, I think it's the Nature Science Journal or something, or the Nature something journal, something nature.com or something, it's there unless they've taken it down.
Yeah, no disrespect, and we don't want to be disrespectful to, people and family members who have lost their lives, because I know people, but, we're not saying that. No. Please don't take it the wrong way. What we're saying, this podcast is supposed to be light-hearted, not light-hearted at the sense of, the seriousness, but let's separate the two. We're not, trivializing. We're just speaking specifically about conspiracy theories and
different opinions.
Absolutely,
and different options.
Absolutely, that's the name of the podcast, so that's your opinion. So please do not take offense, and if you are offended, then you belong with a 25 mile per hour club.
Exactly. We like to have an open mind about everything, not just this situation that's going on. An open mind with everything, because I like to be informed and I like information, so I like to get different opinions and different views and different information.
Definitely, Tez. But yeah, that's the conspiracies. And look, there's a lot of stuff going around, and I was speaking to you before we started the podcast about this. If you I'll try and put the link up in the description later on if I can find it. About this doctor.
Yeah, I think I'll do the same as well.
Yeah, if you could. There's this doctor. He was only a young doctor. He was speaking about his wife and his family, and they created the coronavirus, and they patented it in Europe in 2014, I think. And the trials began, and then they finished it in late 2019, and then hey presto, the coronavirus outbreak, whatever. But we'll put the link, and that's been taken off of the internet, and they're taking that down. So if we can find the link, we'll put the link in the description
Yeah,
below.
because I highly recommend that people do look, because the scientists that are involved, some of them are from Wuhan in China, which is a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a coincidence, but that's one big fucking coincidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely recommend checking them out. We'll put up the links in the description so you can go see it for yourself and see what we're talking about, and see that we're not just making it up and coming up with stories off the top of our head.
Yeah. No, we try not to do that, and if we do say something, well, sometimes there's skepticism on the validity of certain scenarios and situations, but it's only our observations, our opinions, and we will just put the links in the descriptions. So we're basing it off that, not our own personal opinion. Like, oh, we know this, we know that, we know fuck all.
No.
We're just going on. Let's not take it too seriously here. We're trying to be informative yet jovial, yet putting out content. So don't take everything literal and stop being snowflakes about it all, really.
Exactly. See, I've got ADD, so I'm one of these people where I hyper focus. So when I'm in one of my researching modes, I go full blown into research. So this is why I look proper in depth into things. But that's my opinion. I think there's potential there, but look into it for yourself and see what you think.
Absolutely, and then we're going to have a bit of a contrast of a show next week, because we're going to be exploring meditation.
Yeah,
aren't we, Tez?
We are, which actually, to be fair, it will actually help me with my my thesis. Actually, you know what? This saves me doing. I can use this interview for next week. I'm going to use this and put it in my thesis. It saves me a lot of hassle with seeing Dave again separately. So
happy days. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm in, people who don't know, I'm in recovery, substance misuse and alcoholism. I've been in recovery for many years now. I'm teetotal, and I had a life of drinking drugs and all of that palaver. I'm not going to go too much into it, but and I do I practice a lot of meditation, and I've got a routine, and it's really insightful and impactful. I've been meditating for years, not at the depths of what our friend Dave has been, but he helps me a lot with meditating in meditation groups, and it's fantastic. But we can speak about more of that next week. One thing I wanted to touch on, Tez, before we wrap it up was, now please, what I'm saying here, please do not take offence. Now, clapping for the NHS, right? I've got no problem, right, with that, with the NHS. Okay. I've got eternal gratitude to the NHS, because I get delivered. Just bear with me. I just have 1 minute. Kids, I'm just going to try and. Kids. Oh, they're quiet now. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to call them. They're not listening to me. Anyway, I've got great gratitude for the NHS. Like, I've got a lung condition. I don't want to keep on going on about it, but I get delivered a liquid oxygen, a big liquid oxygen each week. I'm very grateful for the NHS, and I'm under the Royal Brompton Hospital in London. They great care, fantastic, specialists. And in the community, I've got a community nurse who looks after me. Absolutely fantastic. So please, I know how valuable the NHS is, right?
Same.
Now, right, simple as that. Your mum, so
my mum and my nan was in and out of hospital with dialysis
Absolutely.
3 times a week. So yeah.
Okay, so we're not. Listen, please, what I'm saying now, I know nurses who, I know family members who are nurses who work in hospital. What I'm saying is, the clap for the NHS, all well and good, love it, fantastic, yeah? Now, this government, stripped the NHS for the last 10 years, yeah? And the resources which could have been put in, hasn't. Now, I don't want to get too political here. It's only the basics what I'm saying here. I'm not an expert, trust me. I know nothing. But what I'm saying is, in the campaign, in the electoral campaign, right? I'm not going to go either way. I'm just saying this, right? Jeremy Corbyn, he was saying this, that, and the other socialism ideology, and everyone was taking the piss out of him, saying, where's this magic money tree? All of this. Now, all of a sudden, the Tories have turned into a socialist party. So everything he was saying and they were rebuking him for, now all of a sudden they were forced into action. Now all of a sudden there's a money tree, and the Conservatives are doing socialism. Wow. But that's all I've got to say. So it's all well and good, yeah, clapping, right? But let's not forget why the NHS is in such a terrible state. I know what the toffs are going to say. Oh, well, it was Labour in 1997. That's what they always say. Oh, it was Tony Blair. They always go back to. They always say, oh, it was Tony Blair. No, I'm talking about the last 10 years. Yeah, that they decreased the wages of NHS staff, and they had a round of applause in the Houses of Parliament because of this. So don't get me started on this. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Yeah, well, let's. I've got so many views on the government. So many.
Maybe that could be a podcast for another time, eh?
That's going to be one long podcast. I could go on all year long about the government.
Anyway, but yeah, but let's give them props. The NHS staff, the teachers, the delivery drivers, yeah, the refuge workers, dustbin men, social workers,
people in supermarkets, like my uncle, he works in supermarkets. Yes. So
postal service,
postal
service. Royal Mail. The cleaners are a high risk. So props go out to you lot. You're doing a fantastic job, and God bless you all. Really, you're doing a fantastic job there.
Exactly. And the NHS are brilliant, as you said with yours. Obviously, they're looking after mum. Well, sort of looking after my mum at the moment. Have been for the last couple of years, and yeah, my nan was in dialysis for a good 15 years, and even before that, she was in and out of hospital more times than I can remember. She always had something wrong with her. She was very, very unlucky when it came to illnesses. So I know the NHS very, very well and can't fault them in that respect.
Never. Fantastic. But we've coming to the end of the podcast now, Tez. So, no, that's been great. I've enjoyed the podcast today, and please subscribe on YouTube if you're watching it on YouTube, and please add us on Spotify and other platforms we're on.
Yeah, make sure you comment. Tell us if there's something you don't like, something you want us to discuss, something you do like. Again, bear with us. We're new to this, so we're still getting to grips with how to do it, but we're getting there.
And what time are we usually going to be up on YouTube? Because obviously, is it going to be any particular time on a Sunday that it's going to be up, or is it just Sunday afternoon?
I would say I'm going to try and get it out for a Pacific time if I can, but for now, if we just say it'll be Sunday evenings.
Okay.
Until I get a bit more of a rhythm and.
Okay. No, it's been great, Tez. Thank you, and thanks for everyone who's joined us on today's podcast. That's your opinion. We're going to be back next Sunday with our very special guest.
Yep, which will probably be going off a bit longer as well next week.
Just a little bit, yeah. We've got David Wright, aka the Mindful DJ. So check him out on Facebook, the Mindful DJ. You'll get a little taster of what he's all about. He's a good guy, and we're going to, I'm sure, talk in depth about meditation next week.
Oh yeah, I
can be sure of that.
Definitely, and I've got a few questions anyway to help with my film thesis anyway, so which I'll explain next week, because people are probably really confused on what the health meditation has got to do with film, but it'll all come clear next week.
Looking forward to that, Tez. Well, you take care, and and we will see you all next week.
Yep, we'll see you all next week in and around the same sort of time of Sunday evening.
Bye-bye.